Sorry everybody, my Mevo camera is not working, so I'm just trying to get the camera set properly. Alright, so welcome everybody, my name is LauraJHall and you are on the Come Cook With Me show. Normally when we come live we have the Mevo camera, which is not cooperating with me this morning or this afternoon, and I have no idea. I've been trying to fool around with it for the last 15 minutes, so I apologize for coming on just a tad bit late, but we have a wonderful recipe. So we're coming to you the old-fashioned way, where we're just going to be recording just live from the phone, and that works. I'm so glad that it actually worked that way. So we're making a wonderful, healthy version of a creamy asparagus soup. I think you're going to absolutely love it. I'm going to show you back here in the slow cooker what it actually looks like, and it just smells heavenly. So I don't know how many of you just absolutely love asparagus, but I certainly do, and it's just so heart healthy. It's such a great vegetable, and the way that we've made this recipe, the way that we're going to be creating it, it's just incredible. We'll have a vegetarian style in the InstantPot, so vegan, dairy-free, vegetarian style, and then we'll have a traditional style, but very healthy in the MEALTHY pot. So back here, we've had, for the last almost 3.5 hours, we've had the beginnings of the asparagus soup cooking, and it's nearly ready. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like now. Everything is kind of cooked down. There's still a few more steps, and you'll see it in the recipe. So I was able to put the recipe out there, but that's what it's looking like before we put the immersion blender in it. I'm just going to go ahead and put that top back on. And let's talk about the steps that we did in getting ready for this. So we want to go ahead and get our InstantPots and MEALTHY pot started. We want to get it set for a saute. Oh, I'm sorry, before I do that, if you're new to the show, please say hello, who you are, where you're from. I can't see the comments because I have the camera too far away so you can see the inside of the pots. But just welcome each other in the community. That's kind of what we do. If you're watching this as a replay or you're watching it from my YouTube channel, again, comments, additional pictures or added value, we just absolutely love this in the community. So go ahead and set it on saute. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see. Saute and saute here. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what we did while this is heating up. What you want to do is get your garlic cloves, put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, whichever your preference is. If you're doing vegetarian, you want to do avocado oil. Or your favorite coconut oil is fine too. Coconut oil for asparagus may overwhelm because we actually have a coconut milk on the vegetarian side. So you may want to just use an avocado oil. So here's our roasted garlic. This is just leftover. We'll be using this for the weekend. So you're going to put that in the oven for about 325, about 20 minutes. Unless you're doing it on convection, then it's a lot less, maybe 8 minutes. So, all right. So when you get your saute features and everything's heating up, for the vegan, vegetarian, dairy-free, we have an Earth Balance butter spread that we're going to be using. And again, you can use an avocado oil. You're going to put in 2 tablespoons. Let that heat up. And then for the traditional, we're going to use a clarified butter. I've got this brand here, G, Organic Valley. It's an organic clarified butter. There we go. All right. So we're going to let that get nice and hot. This didn't start. Saute, start. There we go. Now it's preheating. All right, let's see if I can see anybody. Hi, Annette, great to see you. Hi, Mary. Mary, I meant to call you yesterday. Happy belated birthday. I got so caught up in the afternoon when we were at our event at the Piggly Wiggly, I failed to call you. So happy belated birthday. I'm so glad to see you. We should get down here. All right, this is getting nice and melted, and that's exactly what we want to do. So I'll go ahead, this one's melted a little bit more because it started right on time. So what you're going to want to do is put your garlic, and we've taken that garlic, that roasted garlic, and I have 3 sprigs of fresh thyme mixed in with this garlic. So we've got to go ahead and add that to the bottom of your pot. And then we're going to grab our asparagus. What we've done is we've cut the tips off of our asparagus, and you're going to have them set aside. Sorry for the out of camera range, but you're going to set them aside. And here are the asparagus tips. I'll tell you what we did with them to get them to this point, but you just had cut them off, set them aside into a bowl, and then you're going to cut the rest of your asparagus. There's 2 pounds of asparagus in here, and we also have 2 leeks that have been diced. In addition, anyway, this recipe is amazing. Okay. Perfect. Oh, this is great. So we just want to saute that. This other pot is ready to go. So let me throw in the garlic here and the thyme. And we want to go ahead and get the same asparagus and leeks. There were 2 leeks and they were diced with half of a Meyer lemon zest. And you're going to want to saute this until you see the leeks getting opaque. Just a little opaque would be great. And while we're sauteing and mixing all that garlic in, oh gosh, this smells so wonderful. We're going to add a few more spices. There aren't a lot of spices in this particular recipe, but if you like to have your soups a little bit more spicy, by all means, feel free to go ahead and add in the ones that you love. So we're going to go ahead and add in just 2 more spices, and that is, we've got cumin. So we're going to add in cumin. And I have the exact amounts, preferred amounts. I put in a little extra because our family loves cumin. So again, it's recommended in the recipe, what you love. And then we have some black pepper. Again, we're using organic black pepper. All of our spices, we love to work with non-GMO, we love to work with organic, and it pays off in our bodies. So our bodies really don't like to have GMOs in them, and we definitely want to try to do as much organic as we possibly can. So black pepper, and then we have some pink Himalayan sea salt. I prefer the pink Himalayan sea salt over anything when I cook. I don't know what your favorite salt is that you like to cook with, but for me, pink Himalayan salt is like the absolute best. I coach people from a health perspective, and when they do nutritional cleansing and they get a little migraine or a little headache, we always use this pink salt crystals under our tongue, and it's a great naturopathic way to get rid of your headache. Okay, we're going to add in half of a juice now of the Meyer lemon. So I've already got that squeezed out. And I just love how, I'll show you the zester. This is the zester that I use. I just am able to kind of carry it everywhere, and we just went side by side and just zested that way. And then we take our squeezer, our juicer. It's a nice handy one, so you can just juice like that. But I've already got them set up here, so I'm going to go ahead and empty that in there. It's a half a Meyer lemon. And I love Meyer lemons when you can get them. They're a cross between an orange and a lemon, and they just taste so wonderful. I love to cook with them. Okay, this is getting wonderful. Nice and and cooking down a little bit, getting opaque. This one's definitely done. So I'm going to turn off the saute feature here on this one. Okay, cancel. Okay, so the next step for this recipe is so simple. I'm going to turn this one off too because it's pretty much ready too. So hit cancel. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the next step before we put the lid on. So in our vegetarian, dairy-free, we have a vegetable broth. I love the Pacific brand. So we're going to use the entire 32 ounces. Go ahead and put it all in there. This recipe takes no time at all. And for the, there's a few steps in the back end after these are finished cooking. We're going to use a chicken bone broth organic for the traditional. Anybody who uses a Mevo camera, I would certainly love your input because I did a trial run on one of my pages and I was able to go live. I just couldn't go live on my actual Facebook account. So I don't know if it's Mevo, I don't know if it's Facebook, I'm not really sure. And of course, if you're watching the replay and you're watching on YouTube, it doesn't even concern you. Maybe I should just start going live on YouTube. I might have to do that. These are ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the timer, set it for 5 minutes because I'm going to talk to you about the rest of the recipe and tell you what you need to do. So we're going to go ahead and put these pots together. Snap it on, make sure your lid is down and the steam function is turned over. Grab the other lid. We're going to lock it into place. All right, so you're going to set your pots for 5 minutes. Now, as I said, we get to this point over here with the slow cooker. This is the exact point we are, but that took 3.5 hours. Now this is taking 5 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and set to pressure. Pressure. And I want to take it down to 5 minutes. And that started, and we're going to do the same here. We're going to do pressure, take it down to 5 minutes, and it'll just go ahead and start. Okay, so now when this is actually done, you're going to take, you'll allow it to, 5 to 10 minutes, just natural release, but then finish the release, let the steam release. And what you're going to do while this is cooking, you're going to take those asparagus tips, right, that I showed you, and you're going to put them on the stove. This is the easiest way to do it. So if you have a nice little steamer, anything that you can blanch or steam with, you're going to steam them, and they'll only take 2 minutes to steam. So don't let them over steam. I had one batch that went over steamed, so you don't want to do that. So as soon as this is done, you want to get together. For the vegetarian, non-dairy-free, you want to do 2 things. You're going to do a 1/4 cup of the organic coconut milk out of the can. I like this one because it's really thick. And then I use 3/4 of a cup of Kite Hill almond yogurt. All right, so I have that all mixed together right here, and this is what makes it creamy. So it's so delicious. So we'll go ahead and put that aside. So for the traditional, what we did is we put together some almond milk creamer, or you can use half and half. Really, it's your choice. It's like, where do you want to have the calories? So some of you who follow me are doing a lot of keto, and I totally get that. So if you're doing keto, you want to go ahead and go for the full cream. Like, you can do the heavy cream, and again, it's a 1/4 cup. It's in the recipe as well, or you can do half and half. The other thing I have here is a plain yogurt, just a regular plain yogurt, very clean, grass-fed yogurt. And again, it's 3/4 cup. So it's in total a whole cup, and that's where you're going to get the cream from. So when these are done and you release the pressure of the steam, and I'll take a ton of pictures so you can see how the process goes. You're going to add in, this is the secret ingredient, ready? So you're going to add in the cream and milk. You're going to add in your half a cup of petite green peas, okay? So if you're allergic, I know a couple of you who have written into me and said that you're allergic to peas, so you know what you can put in to replace it, but you want something that's gonna give it some vibrant green. That's what the peas do. And so, so it's a little trick, and it doesn't change the flavor of our soup at all. So you're gonna have a half a cup of the frozen green peas. When that's all over, we're gonna add that in. We're gonna take our immersion blender and also add in, before we immerse, do the immersion blender, we're gonna add in, if you're doing vegan, you're gonna add in Parmesan. If you're doing the vegan dairy-free, you're gonna do the dairy-free Parmesan shreds, or go ahead and do some fresh grated Parmesan, which I've already prepared. You're gonna do about 3 tablespoons of it, and then you'll take the immersion blender and blend it all, and as soon as it's all blended, then you'll add in your cream, you'll fold in the cream and the asparagus tips, and then you'll be able to serve it. So delicious, so yummy. So that's the recipe. I knew it would be a really fast recipe. It took me longer to actually try to get back live to you all versus getting it all cooked up. So this is all taking a little bit of time to pressure. So we're gonna go ahead and end the video. If you love this recipe, come back and take a look at the pictures because it will just absolutely blow you away. So when you serve it, you wanna make sure you get some of those tips in. You definitely wanna heat it up. It might have, after you've done the immersion blender, it might need to add some heat to your pot again, and then serve it warm with either a baguette or serve it by itself. I always put a little extra salt and pepper for people, and maybe just a little extra of the Parmesan. So that's the show for today. I wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody last week. We did not go live last week on Mother's Day weekend. So I appreciate everyone's grace and patience for not having the show. If you love this show, feel free to hit that share button, send some love, do some hearts while you're watching, and don't forget to say hi, who you are, where you're from. I'll look forward to having a surprise next week. At least I'm intending to have a surprise next week. And again, we may need to be live on Friday next week because we've got quite a few things that we're going to be doing. On Thursday, that might be tough, tight schedule, like it was yesterday. Yesterday was normally the day that we go live, and we just couldn't pull it off and get everything done and go ahead and support the community at the Piggly Wiggly for their health event. So everyone have a beautiful weekend. I hope it's safe. I hope that you have tons of love. Great weekend. I'll see you next week.